This is the Life's Journey with Best Friends podcast. Listen as two best friends for over 40 years share our experiences, insights, and unique stories. Sydney Barucci is a licensed massage therapist, structural integration therapist, stretch therapist, and Reiki master practitioner, specializing in myofascial bodywork, manual lymphatic drainage, and abdominal massage.
Her work is highly holistic, and she always individualizes every session, utilizing a multitude of bodywork modalities to meet her clients' needs and get the best results when working with them to achieve their long-term health goals.
She can also assist you in diving into deeper healing realms using intentional and intuitive movement, sound healing, meditation, inner child honoring, mirror work, breath work, Bowen therapy, and the emotion code.
Her practice is located at 100 Trade Center in Woburn, Mass. She's open 7 days a week, and you can make an appointment with her at 781-999-3612.
Or also reach out to her by Gmail at sydneybarucci@gmail.com. That's SYDNEYBARRUCCI@gmail.com. Also, check her out at bysydney.glossgenius.com or on Instagram at Sydney Barucci. Hey, BFFers, it is your two BFFers, Noelle and
Diana.
Do you forget your name?
No, not today.
We are back. We're back with a new episode. So we've got the holidays coming up. We have a guest on that's going to talk to us about what he recommends for games. He's an expert in gaming. So
how'd you find him?
Let's see. Probably it was about 29 years ago. He appeared out of my body. So yeah. You're back. You're not in South Carolina.
I'm back here in Massachusetts. Yep, for 2 weeks. And then I'm going to be back there for 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I think that's going to be our normal schedule. 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Oh, that makes sense. Well, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So as long as Spirit Airlines stays in business, then
I know,
we'll be
right?
good. I'm bummed, man. I hope it's only to restructure their debt because they're the only ones around here that fly into Myrtle direct.
And yeah, I know. And that's crazy. And that's only out of Boston. I can't even fly out of Manchester to get down there. So I know we used to do that. Yeah. So Dave and I and Julie were all going down mid-December to celebrate Diana's birthday. We bought our flight and then like 2 days later they're like, oh, they're bankrupt. We're like, what the hell?
I know.
But I hope like someone like JetBlue or something buys them out. But
well, JetBlue was supposed to, they like went pretty far into the deal. They were supposed to buy them and then the government stopped it. And then
they said a monopoly, which is bullshit.
And I think Frontier was supposed to buy them and then something happened with that as well.
Someone must have a hair across their ass about.
Yeah, so just thinking that maybe with this new administration that it will let them be bought by somebody. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, as long as they don't cancel my flight.
There's no way they're going to do that.
Shh, don't say that.
I know.
You just cursed us. All right.
We're going to live our best Hallmark life when they come down.
So excited.
We're going to a Christmas parade. Wait till you see the town of Conway that's all decorated for Christmas. I've been scoping it out. They have this huge water tower and they have the lights from the top all the way down, like strung down. Oh, it's so cool.
You're going
to love it.
We're going to have to do our Christmas card for this year down there.
Yeah, we can't wear pajamas, but
No,
Maybe
that's
we
all
get
right.
an ugly sweater.
Yeah, maybe we can do that or wear a fun hat or something. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Wearing a fun hat, that's for damn sure.
Saw your face. You're like, whatever. All right, so let's jump right into it. So, our guest today is my son, Nick, and he is the gamer of the family. He also has a YouTube channel, or I don't know what he'll tell you. I don't know what he does.
He has a podcast
A
as
podcast,
well, right?
Yeah. What the hell? What's wrong with me? Yeah, he has a podcast as well too, that he's just started. So, this has always been something that he's been interested in. I don't know. It's just something that he loves. So, we asked him to put together like a list of games that he recommends for people to, maybe buy or give as gifts this year for Christmas. So, he's got a bunch of things that he wanted to talk about or, give his opinion on. So hopefully people like myself that have no clue about video games,
I don't either.
He'll be able to, help us out. So
Call of Duty. What's the other one?
World of Warcraft. No, Minecraft. I don't even know.
Minecraft's, you're dating yourself.
Well, what's the one that they play now?
Isn't it? It's Call of Duty and something else.
All right, there's a lot of them.
Let's bring Nick on. Nicholas, welcome.
Come on in, Nick.
Yeah, welcome to your mother and your godmother show. Woo-hoo-hoo.
So
we should be called the two mothers.
Yeah, the mothers.
I think maybe the one that you were thinking of was Fortnite.
Fortnite. Yes.
Yeah, that's been huge. Yeah, it's like slowly dying. It is slowly dying, thankfully, but
my grandson loves it. I don't.
I'm not surprised.
He was I thought a skeleton for Halloween, and I was like, oh man.
No, it was probably the Skull Trooper. I think is what the skin was called.
He goes, it's a skin from Fortnite. I'm like, well, what the hell is that? Yeah.
Yeah,
so that's what he was.
Fortnite swept the nation. It was insane.
Well, I know it's been popular for years. Why is it something that you liked at the time, Nick, or was it really more for younger kids?
So I got into Fortnite before it became what it is today. Originally, it was released as a third-person shooter tower defense game where you would build like structures to defend a thing against zombies.
Oh, okay.
And then they created the PvP aspect of what we have now and completely destroyed the single-player game.
Oh, interesting.
So that just doesn't exist anymore.
Huh.
So do you fight like a whole group of people? Is it similar to Call of Duty, or am I getting them mixed up?
So Fortnite is what's known as a battle royale, meaning it's a 1v1v1v1 against a lobby of 100 players.
Nick, what we would really like is if you could tell us your, like, the little things that you were saying, like VR, like what are these weird acronyms that you're using and what do they mean? Because we have no clue.
So which acronyms specifically?
So like NPC, MOB, MMO.
Like what are those?
So NPC stands for non-playable character. Basically any character that's not controlled by a person.
Okay.
So someone you just talk to in the game. Typically.
Yeah, so like the movie Free Guy. Did you see Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds?
I haven't, but I know of it.
Okay. So he's
technically an NPC.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I get it. All right.
Do you ever walk around and be like, say like, oh my God, that guy's an NPC? My kids do that. And
so that's like a thing for like the younger generation where people will call like people working a cashier, like an NPC.
Yeah. They do that. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Because they look, the way that they interact with people seems like like an NPC in a video game where it's just like, hi, have a good day. Thank you. They just enter that brain shutdown mode of I'm just doing my job. Screw off.
Now I'm gonna do that everywhere I go now, and I'm gonna text and be like, "Oh, there's an NPC working at the grocery store."
So the term mob just refers to any fightable enemy in a game.
What's it stand for, though?
It doesn't stand for anything. It just stands for mob. It's just mob. At least I don't think it stands for anything.
Mother of the Bride.
Yeah, that's what we know it as, Mother of the Bride.
I think the term comes from like a crowd of people, like a mob of people.
Oh, okay.
Because typically in video games, they're labeled as mobs because there's like a group of them that you fight all at once.
Okay.
So I think that's where it comes from.
Probably.
Okay. What about like an MMO?
Massive multiplayer online. So an MMORPG, massive multiplayer online role-playing game.
Okay. RPG is role-playing game.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
So World of Warcraft would be that.
What's an FPS?
First-person shooter.
Okay. All right. I hear Chris talk about this stuff too, and I'm like, I kind of tune it out because it's just like, I don't understand anything you're talking about.
The term MMO has sort of like lost its meaning nowadays because like realistically Call of Duty is technically an MMO FPS.
That's what I was going to ask you.
It's not referred to as such, it's just referred to an FPS. But typically the term MMO is typically reserved for games like World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, things that have a lot of players in a group playing at the same time, attacking one thing.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. So, like, how do you stay updated on the latest video games, like the releases and like what the trends are? Do you follow anything, or like how do you figure that out?
It's mainly like things like YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. I follow a bunch of like gaming journalists and gaming journalism websites. Yep. So they'll talk about like games that are up and coming or things that are pretty popular. And 9 out of 10 times, if you just watch what games are coming out, you can see a trend. So one of the big things was a couple of years ago, hero shooters became a huge thing. So this game right here, Overwatch, you can't really see the full name, but this is a hero shooter. Basically, you take control of one of these characters. Each character has their own specific set of abilities that makes them unique to everyone else. And you just play as them.
Oh, okay.
So that was a big thing for a while. And a game recently that came out was a hero shooter, but hero shooters were on the downtrend, and that game died within a week.
Oh, really?
8 years to come out. It's like 80, like it was a shit ton of money dead within a week.
I can
imagine that all your hard work that you're thinking you're going to be bazillionaire, and it's gone in a week.
Wow. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, if it takes 8 years to develop a game, how do you know it's going to be like the thing to do in 8 years?
The other thing I find that has changed with game, we say games, but you're no longer going to like GameStop, right?
No, it's all digital nowadays.
Right on your console.
Yeah.
And that's such a weird thing to me. The kids are like, oh, so a game is coming out. I'm like, oh, are you going to go and get it? And they're like, no, all we have to do is download it.
Well, because we used to go to GameStop at midnight and stand there like jerks.
Well, so when we were doing that, digital games existed. Mm-hmm. The issue was the hard drives back then for like the Xbox or the PlayStation were relatively smaller, and getting the expansion ones were incredibly expensive. They used to be basically $1 a gig. So a 250 gig hard drive back then was $250.
Oh, okay.
But nowadays, consoles come with terabyte hard drives.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? So like a terabyte was like a huge thing. And
back in the day, terabytes were insane.
Right. And
now everything needs a terabyte.
I know what I mean? Like 6 terabytes on my computer.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely insane. So also when you're talking about this, like what platforms do you usually recommend for games? Is it a PC, a console? Like, so how do you make the determination, or is everything just done on your PC now?
So right now, PC and Xbox are pretty much shared. Everything that comes out on Xbox is coming out on PC. That doesn't work the other way around.
Okay.
So if it comes out on Xbox, it'll be on PC.
But if it's on PC, it's not going to be on Xbox.
Correct.
So what game systems are out there now? Like, I don't even know.
Not including PC.
Yeah.
There's the Xbox One X. Their naming convention is wild. I don't even know anymore. The newest Xbox.
Okay.
Yep.
The PlayStation 5.
Okay.
And the Nintendo Switch. Those are the three big ones.
Okay.
There's Nintendo has another handheld called the 3DS, but I don't really think it sees much support nowadays because I think they might be making a new one. Plus the Switch is technically handheld. So
okay.
you know.
Right.
Which I think is the best because it does both, right?
Yeah.
You can take it with you or you could play it on your TV.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it has like a docking system that you can plug, that you can set up to, and it just HDMI's to your TV.
Yeah, and then the two little handles on the side are your controller.
Oh, that's
cool.
They
pop right off.
They pop off.
I've never I've seen one. I think Ashley has one, but I've only seen her whole hand.
I hate Nintendo, so I just don't support them. I fucking hate Nintendo.
Oh, see, now for me, we grew up on Super Mario.
I mean, here's the thing. I grew up in Pokemon. I grew up on Mario. But Nintendo is just an awful company.
Really?
Oh, they're awful. If I make a video on YouTube about a Nintendo product, Nintendo will ultimately probably try to sue me.
Really?
It's not as bad now. Like 5-10 years ago, you could not put a video, an edited video from a Nintendo game on YouTube without Nintendo taking it down.
You would think that that's like free advertisement for
You'd think, but in Japan, laws are weird when it comes to using their content in other things. So like in America, we have fair use law. So I can take any piece of content, and as long as I'm creating a thing out of it that is informative or educational or criticizing it, it's completely legal.
Okay.
Japan doesn't have that. They see their game, they say, hey, that's ours.
You can't do anything.
Can't do that.
If they could sue people for like reselling cards, they probably would.
Well, Diana was a big gamer, quote unquote, when we were younger. I couldn't. I
only gamed with Super Mario. That was the only game I loved.
But you would stay up till like 1 a.m, and I would be like, "Can we go
back
to sleep
then,
now?"
But I feel like you couldn't really save it. So if you got so far, you had to keep going. Or else you had to start all over.
Right. She'd be like, "Oh, I'm just going to play real quick." And I'm like, I'm sleeping over. And I'm like, "Oh, we're going to be here until." Like, this is stupid. And then Nick's dad, when he beat one of the Mario games, I don't remember which one it was wicked late at night. We had the console in our bedroom. He starts screaming and yelling, and he's all excited and wakes me up. And I was like, it's a video game. Why are you so excited?
Did you know that Universal is making a Nintendo Land, right? A Super Mario Land?
Yeah, there's one in Japan right now, and it's really popular. So I guess they're moving it over to America, which is honestly pretty smart. But again, I refuse to support Nintendo.
I agree, but they're not a good company.
No, I
don't like the new Marios at all. Anyways, I like the ones that were. It was like, I want to say it was like Nintendo, just probably plain Nintendo, a Nintendo DS.
Oh, like the NES.
NES, maybe it was back in the day. It was the gray thing that you.
Oh yeah,
your controller was wired and you couldn't go far.
See, do you see how perfect she does that? She still has the stance.
Yeah. They're just weird. Like there was a group of people that were making a mod for one of their older games that they don't sell anymore and they don't support anymore, and they sued them.
Really?
Yep.
And they're gazillionaires. Like,
oh yeah, yeah. They have insane amount of money.
Right. That's crazy. So, all right, let's get into your recommendation. So if you were to recommend a game for someone who doesn't normally play video games, like someone like me, is there anything that you would recommend? Or are you just like, yeah, no, if you don't play video games, just don't even bother?
So it can be difficult to recommend games for people that don't typically play them. And that's mainly because a lot of the games that come out today are games. There's not many things that aren't like quote unquote games. It's either like first person shooters, or like tactical things, or like tower defense games. However, one of the games that came out this year that is actually nominated for Game of the Year at the Game Awards, that's happening in about a month, is one of the games that I was going to bring up, called Balatro.
What is it?
I think I'm pronouncing this right. It's Balatro. Balatro. Okay. I don't know what that means. I might be like a weird French word.
Okay.
And the game itself is kind of hard to describe, but I'm going to use a couple of buzzwords here that you guys aren't going to get.
Okay.
It's a roguelite deck building poker game.
Is poker?
Like cards?
Yeah, like poker, like Texas Hold'em, or not Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Texas Hold'em. I think.
Yeah, Texas Hold'em. Yeah.
I don't really know poker.
Yeah. I know poker.
So just like I said, describing this game's kind of hard. So I did cheat a little bit. So I found a really good description that I edited.
Okay.
Balatro is a turn-based card game that's available on most platforms, and I believe as well as the phone. And it takes the mechanics of poker and turns it into the basis of a compelling roguelike, a subgenre of games where each playthrough is a single perilous attempt, and where if you lose or die, you have to start over from zero. Balatro is a poker game, and as much as Scrabble is a word game. Knowing the language and the probabilities of poker will help you, but ultimately, this is a logic game. There's no bluffing, no pots. It's just pure composition of poker hands satisfyingly paired with a thrilling game loop. Balatro is dead simple. Each turn, you play a good hand and score points. You can discard to try your luck for more helpful cards in your deck. And there are a few other possible actions, but that's more or less how the game plays. And when you pair this with things like doubling your hand's value or altering the suit of a given card, you're in for a lot of hours of just genuine fun, as well as a genuine challenge to push to the higher tiers of the game's difficulty. Because each time you succeed, the ante, the amount of points you have to get to, increases. Cool. To the point where people have gotten the game to, you know, when you're like on a calculator and you're just fucking around with buttons?
Yeah.
You'll sometimes get null because it can't calculate it.
Yeah.
That happens.
Oh,
you can get so high in point values that the game nulls out, and that's effectively the end of the game.
Oh, okay. So there is, I was going to say, is there an ending? But so for someone like me that doesn't like the first shooter games, and I
think you would really like
kind
this
of
game.
Puzzly things and to use my brain. That sounds
I think you would honestly really like it because there's a lot of math involved. Because as you play hands, so like say your deck is like you start the game with a normal deck of 52 cards.
Okay.
And you can alter cards to either remove them from the deck, change the suit that they are, make it so that they are any suit. And you want to say you can also get cards that level up the specific plays. So if you can have their singles, two pair, three of a kind, four of a kind, full house, flushes, whatever. You can level up those cards to have increased point value. So you can, if you want to go all flushes, you can just constantly keep playing flushes so that you get a higher point value.
Oh, I understand. Okay. All right. Yeah, that definitely sounds something interesting for like the non-gamer.
Yeah. I'm also fairly certain it's on phone, so it's really accessible to a lot of people.
There it is. Yeah. All right.
That looks fun.
Yeah, it's super unique. It's a lot of fun and it's very challenging. I've only ever beaten the game normally because it does have like an end, and then you can enter endless mode, which is where you get to like null and scientific notation on your point values.
Wow. Well, I guess that's when you say, "Yay, I beat the game," and you wake your partner up because it's 1 a.m.
I did
it. Yeah.
So are there any like upcoming games you're particularly excited about that might make good Christmas gifts for people this year? Or is it how's it going?
Truthfully, this year not much is coming out in the future that is anything. At least that's paid. One game that I'm really excited for is Marvel Rivals, which is a hero shooter that uses Marvel characters. Ooh. And I genuinely think this game is going to do a lot better than that other one because it's set in the Marvel universe, so it's characters that people know and people like. Whereas that other game that came out that died in a week had no one. It was just a brand new IP with characters that no one cared about.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Well, yeah, because
my boys love Marvel. I bet they would love that.
It's
still the other thing is you say for Christmas presents, but they all download it on their consoles, so you can't really. Yes, I was just gonna say gift card, right? Like Xbox gift card or whatever.
Yeah.
It's so different now.
It really is. Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to.
I have to look into that. Tell me that name again,
Marvel Rivals. So it's a free-to-play game. It's going to be free when it launches.
It's free to play?
It's free to play. They're going to make their money off of microtransactions. So skins, battle passes, stuff like that.
Oh,
Marvel Rivals. I bet they love that.
Isn't that the same thing that Fortnite did?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, originally that game used to be paid. You used to have to pay for it.
Right.
And then when they released the Battle Royale, they made it free.
Right. With Jake, whenever all he would want was V-Bucks. Money for. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Constantly. And he would do so Jake is my nephew, and he would is there any, like, can I do anything around the house so I can earn some money so I can do, and I'm like, what, you're here to visit, you're not here to clean my house. Like, I don't understand.
So I know we talked about Xbox. Like, which one of those? Xbox, Nintendo, what's the other one?
PlayStation.
PlayStation. Which one do you like the best?
So I play on PC.
Okay.
So technically Xbox, because everything they get, we get.
Okay.
And another sort of side recommendation that I have for people that have loved ones, friends, family, whatever, that have a PC is this thing called Xbox Game Pass, which is a subscription-based service that a lot of the games that are coming to Xbox are being put on this day one. You can just play it. $15 a month. You just get the new game. So recently, a new Call of Duty came out, like about 2 weeks ago now. Day one, it was on Game Pass. So I didn't have to spend the $70 on the game. I just spend $15 a month. I get to play a bunch of other stuff that comes out and gets put on it, and I have Call of Duty.
And you don't have to wait the 7 hours for it to download, right?
Well, I do, because it still has to download.
That's bad, though. It takes a long time.
Well, games nowadays, like I think Call of Duty, if you download every single part of the game, I think it's like 200 gigs or something like that. I think it's probably like 150, something like that.
So the majority of our listeners are like women that are our age, maybe a little bit younger. Is there any other games that maybe you recommend for, because we don't know. We really have no idea.
So I have 2 more video games to recommend.
Okay.
And three board games.
Oh, okay.
I'm a huge board game person. I love board games.
Really?
I love the analog. I love analog. It's great. It's fantastic.
Okay.
So the other 2 video games, one of them is called Astrobot. And realistically, it's something that anyone could play. It's this really cutesy puzzle platformer.
Ooh.
And it's only on PlayStation, sadly. So I haven't personally played it, but I watched a lot of gameplay because I was super interested in it.
Yeah.
And it's a puzzle platformer, meaning platform. You guys obviously know what platform games are.
Yep.
It's Super Mario, but it's a 3D platform.
Oh yeah,
so it's not side scrolling.
Oh my gosh, it's cute. That's a cute.
So that's Astrobot.
Yeah.
And the collectibles hidden throughout the game are characters from other Sony product.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, that's fun. That's so cute.
It's super adorable. The music, banging. The music is so good.
Oh,
I want to look that up.
Really cutesy game.
Yeah, I bet you that's something that Mason would like.
I feel like honestly anyone could play this.
Really?
Okay.
Even like 60-year-olds could play this thing and probably have a fun time because the game isn't super difficult. It does have like harder levels to unlock hidden characters, but that's about it. And they're soon going to be adding time trials. So basically complete the map as fast as you can, compare yourself against the world.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Cute.
I like that.
That looks like something I might play with you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a good one. And then the other video game that I want to recommend is one of my personal favorites that came out last year. It's probably one of my favorite games of all time. And it's Baldur's Gate 3. I know you guys probably have no clue what I just said.
No clue.
No.
So Baldur's Gate 3 is a role-playing game that uses a modified version of Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition rules.
Oh.
It has, I shit you not, thousands of hours of gameplay, depending on how you want to play through it. Because one playthrough, like my playthrough, could be entirely different than someone else's based off of 2 changes. Because every choice you make, every dialogue you pick with characters completely changes the game because they will treat you differently or act differently depending on what you do.
Oh, that's super cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. So and like one playthrough is typically around like 100-ish hours, depending on how fast you bum rush just the story. Because there's so much side content that I completely missed on my first playthrough that I spent almost 200 hours on.
Oh my god!
Really?
So it's like a choose your adventure type of thing.
Yeah,
because it's based off of Dungeons and Dragons.
That's really cool. Okay, yeah. I can see why you like that. All right.
So that's definitely more of the, and it's also quite an adult game. There's sex in it. There's violence, drugs.
Really?
Yeah. Because you can there's 8 different companions, each of which you can romance.
Oh, interesting.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Video games have come pretty far.
They sure have. They've definitely changed since Mario.
The castle, yeah.
Hey, you think Peach and Mario were getting down in the background? What do you mean?
I think they were.
So, the board games. I totally understand board games. We've always loved board games. So, what's your recommendation for board games?
So, I have technically there's 3 board games. One of them is a card game.
Okay.
So we'll start with the card game. The card game is called Super Fight.
Super Fight. Okay.
You know Cards Against Humanity, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Take that, strip the kind of raunchiness out of it, and make it about superheroes.
Ooh.
So you have character cards and attribute cards. So you play a character card, you get an attribute card, and then someone plays a character and an attribute card, and then you get a random one from the top of the deck, and then you argue who wins in a fight.
That sounds like so much fun.
I'm putting that on my boys' Christmas list.
Yeah.
You can add cards from Cards Against Humanity into it and make it gross and hilarious. Because now you have Superman that can shoot bees out of his fingers and has a giant black dick.
and does bukkake.
Exactly.
Pixelated bukkake.
So I love Super Fight. It's super fun. And theoretically, you can play it with any number of people as long as you have enough cards.
Right.
The main box comes with 500 cards.
Okay.
And it's 160 character cards and 340 power or weakness cards. So you can technically, with that one deck, play with up to 20 people.
Oh, there's an 80s version.
Yeah, and they have absolute crap ton of add-ons.
Oh, that's so fun. Well, that's kind of cool because you can play that with the kids. And then when it's time for them to go to bed, you put the Cards Against Humanity ones and then you continue playing the game.
Yeah, I love Super Fight. It's so much fun.
Awesome.
Super Fight.
Okay, cool. I love that recommendation.
Me too.
All right, Mr. Nicholas. What's next?
Next?
I'll save my favorite board game for last.
Okay.
And also, when I say board game, what do you guys think? What do you picture in your mind's eye?
Something that you just play at a table.
That's what Monopoly. Sorry.
Clue.
Yeah.
Clue.
So
Trouble.
Over the last 15, probably up to 20 years, board games have gone through this huge resurgence where they have stories, like legitimate stories that you play through. They have evolving rules. And if you look at Clue, instead of trying to figure out who done it, you have board games where you done it and you're trying to hide the fact that you did from the rest of the people at the table.
Oh,
okay.
So it's like social deduction games.
Yeah, I like that.
So one of these games is called Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Okay.
This game, it's a long name, I know. It has a evolving rule set where the rule book itself has blank spots. And it has another book of stickers that when you do certain things in the game, you take the sticker out of that book and you put it in the rule book, and there's a new rule that modifies the game.
Oh, I love that.
That's what's that other thing that we play that you ask for a noun, you ask for a verb, you ask and you put
Mad Libs?
Yeah,
Mad
that's what it
Mad
reminds
Libs,
me
Mad
of,
Libs.
Mad Libs. Okay, Noble Knight. That's cool.
Yeah. So I'm going to read this little snippet here. Where is it? Betrayal at House on the Hill quickly builds suspense and excitement as players explore a haunted mansion of their own design, encountering spirits and frightening omens that foretell their own fate. With an estimated hour or so of playtime, Betrayal at House on the Hill is ideal for parties, family gatherings, or casual fun with friends. This game is a tile game that allows players to lay out the haunted mansion room by room, tile by tile, creating a new and thrilling board game every time. The game is designed for 3 to 6 players, each of whom plays one of 6 possible characters. Secretly, one of these characters betrays the rest of the party, and the innocent members of the party must defeat the traitor in their midst before it's too late.
I love that.
So much fun.
It's like live action Clue.
Yeah,
pretty much.
That's awesome.
And and the thing is, you don't know you betray the party until it happens. Because you get possessed, you find a cursed thing, you find the thing that your family has been looking for in this haunted mansion. And then you try to steal it, or you try to kill the rest of the party because you want to do this blood sacrifice to this demon or whatever. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, clearly.
And then one of my favorite board games of all time, and it's closely tied to one of my favorite movies of all time. It's called Nemesis. So Nemesis is a semi-cooperative game for one to five players. You can play it by yourself because characters in the game are like, they do things on their own. Like they have predetermined things that happen when they enter a specific room.
Wait a minute, but
or if they see a player.
It's a board game. You play. It's okay. All right.
So the game can take a while, and it is a little pricey. I think right now the game is probably around like $140.
Ooh.
And it can take roughly 90 to 180 minutes. So an hour and a half to 3 hours.
Yeah.
In Nemesis, you and your crewmates must survive on a ship infested with hostile organisms.
Oh, now I know it's aliens. It's about, okay. When you said your favorite movie, it's one of two. I'm like, okay, yep.
To win the game, you have to complete one of two objectives that is dealt to you secretly at the start of each game and get back to Earth in one piece. You'll find many obstacles on your way. Swarms of intruders, the name given to the alien organisms by your ship's AI, the poor physical conditions of your ship, agendas held by your fellow players, and sometimes just cruel fate. The gameplay of Nemesis is designed to be full of cinematic moments, which hopefully you will find rewarding even when your best plans are ruined and your characters meet a terrible fate. The game is basically the board game form of the movie Alien. And one of my favorite things about it is in the beginning of the game, it builds tension very fast because things you do before the enemies show up have noise ratings. And the higher the noise rating, the higher the chance the alien just comes in and tries to murder you as fast as possible.
Okay.
So the start of the game, it's calm. You're just moving around. And then it's like, oh, you collect this thing, but knock something over and you make noise. And then there's a chance that if you make more noise in that room, it's just going to bust through, break the door, and try to kill you.
Wow. Okay.
It's
that
so much fun.
That sounds a little more difficult for me. I don't understand, but okay.
So it's basically the map is the ship, like it's your spaceship, and as you move through the rooms.
Oh, I see now.
Yeah, and there's giant.
Gotcha. Okay.
The amount of pieces in this game is insane.
Oh my gosh.
And that's why it's like $140.
Wow. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on sale for $122 right now.
I just was gonna say the same thing. It's on sale.
Yeah, it's so good though.
That's cool. Oh, that's awesome, Nick. I didn't even have like board games or card games or anything like that. So I'm glad that you brought that up.
I much prefer sitting down for like 3 hours to play a board game than I do to sit down and play a video game for 3 hours.
Then stare at a computer.
I like the tactile thing. I like tokens. I like cards. I like little miniatures. I love that.
Yeah. No, I get that. You had your 3D printer. You were doing stuff. You like to paint the little things.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Now you do have a podcast. Have you started the podcast yet?
Technically, yes. We're focusing more on our YouTube audience first to try to build that and then move them over to the podcast.
Okay. I knew that there was a YouTube connection to it.
Yeah.
So this is going to be on YouTube as well. So what is the name of your podcast, your YouTube channel? What is that called?
So my personal YouTube channel is Fa1zie, or pronounced Fa1zie.
Fa1zie, yeah.
Yep. And then my joint YouTube channel with one of my best friends is The Real Gamer Experience.
Okay.
So it's going to be a gaming podcast that I want to do stuff with not only video games, but also board games once we're actually able to get in person and sit down at a table. So hopefully we can, I want to branch that at some point.
Yeah.
I just love board games. I want more people to be into them. I love just looking at, whenever I go to like a game shop, I always just look at the board games. I don't plan on buying anything unless something seems really cool. I'm just going to look at them.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you ever go on Twitch, or is that old now?
So Twitch is still around. I'm not a big fan of the platform.
You were when it first came out.
Well, that was before.
I need to tell a Nicholas story. Nicholas, when he was, we're like, you got to get a job.
Oh, yeah,
this was like in high school.
To be fair, I had a job at the time when I said this.
He did.
I was working at Kmart and I hated my life.
And he was like, Mom, I'm going to make money on this thing called Twitch. And that's what I'm going to do.
I asked for 3 months to just try it out.
And I was like, that's fine. Don't quit your job until you're making money on this. And then I never heard anything ever again.
Like, well, yeah, because I'd work 8 hours, come home, be tired, and didn't want to do anything.
Right. You know, and I get that. But I was like, hey, if you can make money at it, I don't care. And I was like, what's a Twitch? Like, I had no idea, you know.
Yeah, so that was back when Twitch was like actually a decent platform. Now it's not.
Yeah.
It's awful.
No, so I was telling my boys, because I watch I listen to this sports radio, and they broadcast on Twitch video, so I can watch it. And so I was like, oh, I was on Twitch, and my kids were like, what? You were on Twitch? I'm like, yeah, I watched it's a different platform from when you guys would game on it. I'm just watching WEI Sports Radio show their show. You know what I mean? It's like, they're like, wow, I'm impressed. You have a Twitch account? I'm like, it's nothing like that.
But yeah, to explain why Twitch has become awful, it's they've tried to tone it down a little bit, but for a while there, the meta. Do you guys know what the term meta means?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So the meta on Twitch for female streamers was the littlest amount of clothing that was allowed on Twitch.
Oh.
Or hot tub streams, because a bikini is technically a bathing suit, so it doesn't really count as clothing. So they could wear the littlest amount of bikini they could wear and just stream on Twitch and make millions of dollars.
Millions. And so now that's OnlyFans.
I fucking hated being on the platform. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was camming without being naked.
Yeah. Hate that stuff though. Like, why?
Money.
That's all
the amount of money they made is insane.
Yeah. Look at it's crazy. I think I would kill my daughter.
Noelle, some of them make so millions. Like, what do people? Obviously, I don't know what they're doing to make their millions, but like, who's like, I'm going to turn on OnlyFans or Twitch or whatever and pay this girl.
Well, you want to know why?
To do whatever,
because she says your name.
Right. She gives you a shout out, so you got to pay her money.
On Twitch specifically, when it's like another thing that they were doing was writing their names on stuff. So the girl would have like the skimpiest pants she could have, and she would turn around, put her ass in the camera, and write their name on a whiteboard, or they would write or for like $100, they'll write your name on their tits or stuff like that.
It floors me that people are paying for that.
Why? They go to strip club. What's the difference? This way you're at home.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem.
Again,
I would rather be in person.
I would kill my daughter. That's all I can tell you. Like,
I mean, some people, even like OnlyFans, the amount of money that like people make is disgusting.
Well, I know it is.
There are people that don't even do nude content on OnlyFans making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month.
What are they doing?
Suggestive.
Showing their feet.
Yeah,
sorry.
Their feet.
No, it's like feet, really skimpy, like underwear. That's like they basically just like pull it inside them. Like you can't technically see anything.
Right.
I don't know.
It's
crazy. World, man.
Crazy. Well, Nick, is there anything else you want to talk about, or do we touch upon everything?
Support indie developers. That Balatro game, the game that's up for Game of the Year, is an indie game, meaning it's an independent developer. They're not backed by a huge company.
Oh, good. Yeah. Okay.
Support indie devs. Play board games.
Okay.
Perfect. I love it.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you waiting to have your pizza.
The poor thing. His pizza's cold.
And coming on, because I mean, now you've given us some ideas. I didn't think I would get anything. I don't want to say anything out of this. I was just like, oh, okay, well, talk about different video games for our listeners. But there's a couple games I want to play now.
Same here.
So
I'm telling you, check out Balatro. You might really enjoy it.
That's the game I want to check out, Balatro.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I love
thank you, Nick. It was great seeing you.
It was good seeing you guys.
All right.
It's been a long time.
Bye.
Yeah, I know. Bye. Well, that was pretty cool, huh?
That was very cool.
Yeah, a couple of those games sound super awesome. All right. Well, that's it for us this episode. We'll see you next week on our next episode. But remember, it's better to have a friend with two chins than
two faces.
Yay.
Do I have two chins?
No, but I do. All right. Have a great week, everyone.
See you guys. See you next week.
Hi, BFFers. We talk a lot about aging ungracefully on our podcast and are always looking at ways to improve our overall health.
One of the ways to do that is to purchase quality products that are high in nutrition.
Natural Food Exchange is passionate about providing you with the highest quality, natural, and organic products. They are dedicated to promoting a healthy lifestyle through a carefully curated selection of nutritious foods, supplements, and wellness products.
Check out Natural Food Exchange in person at 39 Pleasant Street, Unit 1A in Stoneham, or visit their website, naturalfoodexchange.com.
Get 15% off of your order when you use the code BFF15 or use the QR code on our website at www.lifesjourneywithbestfriends.com.
You've been listening to Life's Journey with Best Friends. For details on any of the things we've mentioned in the podcast, including photos, visit our website lifesjourneybff.com. You can also email us at lifesjourneybff@gmail.com or visit us on Facebook, Instagram, or Threads.
Remember, no matter where life takes you, you are never alone when you have a best friend by your side. Until next time.